अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Yeah.
Over to you, Pratap uncle. Thank you for joining. So everybody is eagerly waiting.
Jai Baba, everybody. Now the listeners must be wondering why I am taking so much of time to speak about Dr. Ghani. In fact, that is a subject very dear to our heart. It is because of Dr. Ghani that we have come very close to Baba. And we owe so much to him that he has given the right understanding how to take Baba in your lives. So I always like to speak about Dr. Ghani. And today also I will resume the same subject. Maybe perhaps for today or next time, perhaps next time I may close the chapter of Dr. Ghani. Today I am just having a passing reference to the first program that Pune Bhajan Mandali had before Baba in Mahabaleshwar in December 1950. But before that, let me tell you something about Dr. Ghani. As a person, Dr. Ghani was not very handsome person, not very handsome person, but one would like to be in his company. He was very attractive in the sense that we like to sit with him. His height was not very, it was not very tall, little bent on his back, having a head which may be said to be disproportionate to his body structure, a little big one, and most of the portion of the head was bald. When standing, he would appear to be an old person, but then once he sits for giving a talk, then a peculiar luster will be there on his face. And I personally like to sit very close to him every time. We used to sit in the first row. May we understand his talks, but then he used to talk very casually, as if we are having a gossiping with each other. And whenever any philosophical subject is there, then of course he will take all pains to put in our minds the meaning of that particular subject. And for that matter, even his talk would continue up to midnight, 12 o'clock, 12:30 or so. He will come at 9 o'clock and thereafter sit up to 11 o'clock. But then, if any interesting subject is there, he may continue his talk. So that used to happen very often. Now, Dr. Ghani, his very look was of a very wise person, a man of wisdom, as we say. If you look at him, you will feel that he's a man of wisdom. During those days, he had several contacts with so many people in Pune, and there was one Theosophical Society, they used to call it Theosophical Lodge, where few of our youngsters, they used to often visit that Theosophical Lodge, take out some of the books, help the secretary in various types of works, and they used to take good interest in attending this Theosophical Lodge. And all the people, members of that Theosophical Society all the members were high dignitaries in society. Some were philosophers, some were professors, some were lecturers, some were doctors, judges, lawyers, very, very white people, really good cream of society. And they used to respect Dr. Ghani very much. There were quite number of Mohammedans. As we know that Mohammedans are very fanatic people. By nature, they are very fanatic. They don't recognize your guru and master and God becoming man, all that. But in that society also, in a very unequivocal terms, Dr. Ghani used to say that Meher Baba is the avatar of this age. He is God in human form. He is Sahib-e-Zaman. That description Dr. Ghani used to give them without any hesitation. And in spite of the fact that there were so many Mohammedans who were listening to his lecture, nobody had, I won't say courage, but then nobody would like to oppose him. That was the respect that he was commanding from these people. Now, when we say about this fanaticism of these Mohammedans, this sort of thing is there in every religion, practically every religion. I remember Rick Chapman had visited India. He was traveling through India. He had come on some scholarship. I think some scholarship by, it was called in the Fulbright scholarship. And he was going to India, so several places. He had come to Pune. We made friendship with him. We often used to meet him. Madhusudan's wife, myself, we had become quite close friends. And our then secretary of Pune Center, he had arranged for his talk in Pune Center. Rick Chapman had an experience in India that when he wanted to visit one temple in the north, very famous temple in the north. I don't remember the name now, but then what he had told us then that those people, people attending to the temple, when they looked at Rick Chapman from his head to toe, they told him that non-Hindus are not allowed in this temple. And Rick Chapman was a little bit surprised that how they can prohibit a person from entering a temple. It is a place of worship. But then he said, that is what Rick Chapman had reported to us. He said, I am a Hindu. I am India. I want to see the deity. And then those people were a little bit in a confusion. They consulted all the trustees of that temple, and ultimately they came to an came to a decision that no, we cannot allow you to enter this temple. That is also a sort of fanaticism. Amongst these Parsis also, there is fire temple. Non-Hindus are not allowed to go near that fire temple. I remember in Mumbai, when I was in Mumbai, this Naju Kotwal, her father's name was Savak Kotwal. When he passed away, when he died, his body, a naked body, was kept in a sort of a small tank. They have some sort of a procedure of applying some ghee to the whole naked body, and then the dog will be taken and he will swallow all that ghee. That's some sort of a procedure like that. And Naju was keen, very keen. His body was kept in, and nobody, no non-Hindu is allowed to go there. But Naju Kotwal was very keen to have prayer at that place. So what she did is, she put one Parsi cap on my head, another Parsi cap on my friend Kishore Mistri's head, and she gave us names, some names, some Parsi names like Rustam or like Sarabji, Dorabji, some names. And hurriedly, I could speak Gujarati. Kishore Mistry was expert in speaking Gujarati. He was Gujarati. I also had, good knowledge of speaking Gujarati. Both of us were taken inside, and hurriedly, she said, "Now Pratap, just recite the prayer hurriedly." And I started saying, "Oh, Parodira, the preserver, protector of all, you are without being and hurriedly, I just recited the whole prayer, and she was very happy about it. Then we came out. All the Parsis priests were looking at with suspicion, but she could manage it. And when anybody dies in the whole area where there is no prohibition, who are outsiders, there we always used to have Meher Baba's prayer, Parvardiga prayer, repentance prayer, and Aarti loudly amongst all the Parsis. So all the Parsis, they had become more or less friendly with us, because every function of the Parsis we used to attend, and we were given a special reception whenever we attend such functions. And all the Parsi community knew about it, that these are Meher Baba people, and they have very respectable people for the hosts. This is about Parsis. For Christians, they allow to go inside the church, but then they always say that Jesus Christ is the greatest. Our religion is the greatest religion. That is the feeling they have. That is the conviction they have. So this fanaticism is in every religion in one form or the other. But then Dr. Ghani, whenever he used to move among these people, maybe because in the beginning, after he contacted after Babajan had his case on his Meherwan's forehead, after that 11 months period, when he came to again regain his consciousness, the people who had gathered around him most of them were Mohammedans. Most of them were Muslims. And thereafter, when he started going to Kasbapet, most of the people were from fishermen community. So Meher Baba had contact with several people, but then some of the Mohammedans. Now, when Baba came to Manzil-e-Mim, there also many people were Mohammedans. They used to visit very often Manzili Mim, sit with Baba. But then few were there who had very much attachment to Baba. Dr. Ganiz was one of them. Khak Sahib was also one of them. Then Ramju Abdullah was one of them. Sayyid Sahib, by name Sayyid Sahib, he was also very much attached to Baba. And Munshi Abdul Rahman. These were the people who were entirely obedient to Baba. And when, because of Dr. Gani's close association with the members of that Theosophical Society, they all requested Dr. Gani for arranging a Baba Darshan for all the members of that society. And Dr. Gani could convince Baba that Baba, these people, they very much would like to have your darshan. And Baba allowed it. And a busload of passengers, they all went and took Baba's darshan. Not only that, but during that time, Baba gave personal interviews also to some people. So Dr. Gani was the medium in that. So Dr. Gani's role in Baba's activities, Baba's whole Avtaric mission was a unique one in the sense that in the last circular, Baba said that there are many things that it is only Gani could do for me. And now since he had left now his body, I have to take the burden on myself. That was the last circular which Baba had issued about Dr. Gani. Now I am coming back to the time when we had first program before Baba. It was in the month of December on Mera's birthday. This program was arranged on Baba's desire. A group of people, young group of people who were singers, a bhajan mandali, they went and went to perform before Baba. And just see, about 4 or 5 days before, Khak Sahib, who was a very silent person, a tall person, always wearing a Western dress. Even Gani used to have Western style of his attire. So Khak Sahib, he came all the way. He was staying in the area of Baba House. Many must have seen that Baba House area. In that area, Khak Sahib was living. So from there, he came to our hostel. He came with a paper. He gave it to Mr. Thade, who was a superintendent of our hostel, and he was a person who used to organize Baba programs. Work for Baba programs. And then he placed that paper in the hand of Mr. Thadi, and what he said is that since you are going to Meher Baba to perform, this is the first performance that you will be having Guru Baba. This is the song which I have composed for Baba. If you get a chance, please ask Madhusudan to set it to tune and sing before Baba. That is the request he had expressed and gave that paper to Thade. And thereafter he walked away. 2 days after, a news came to us that Khak Sahib has passed away. That was really very shocking news for all of us. We just rushed to his house, ran to his house. His son was there. We didn't know much about that family. But then Khak Sahib was so very, what should I say, a very, very dedicated to Baba. I remember the once in Guru Prasad, Baba had opened the topic of Khak Sahib. And Baba had said then that this Khak is the pen name. His name was something different, Abbas or some. So this man, I am paying him around about 25 rupees or so per month. But and I extract so much of work from him. But at no time he has expressed through his mouth his displeasure about that amount. He just keeping contented with that amount. He was not a rich person, but even then, Khak Sahib never spoke about his misery, his miserable life. After he passed away, we attended his funeral. I think it had rained just before, and then the whole area had become very slippery. But then we attended his funeral, and then when we presented before Baba, this song was sung before Baba. Why I have told you the whole background, because you can just imagine how, to what extent a person can be dedicated to Baba. I would like to sing that song with the meaning of it. If you all agree to that, I will
Yes,
sing that song.
please. Yes.
I will not read out the meaning of it at a time. As I go on singing, I will simultaneously tell you the meaning of it so that you can enjoy better.
Sure.
मेरी जिंदा दिली को देख कर हैरत हुई है दुनिया, मेरा दिल चीर कर देखे तो निकले तीर के टुकड़े. These are the opening lines. What he says in this line is, people were wondering how this man can remain so cheerful and so happy. From outwardly, this man looks to be very happy and very cheerful. How can, because those who knew his life, miserable life, even then he keeps on smiling and he keeps on happy. How can do that? So what Khak says is, मेरी जिंदा दिली को देखकर हैरत हुई दुनिया. People were wondering looking so very cheerful. मेरा दिल चीर कर देखे तो निकले तीर के टुकड़े. They have cut open my heart. What they found is the broken pieces of arrows which my beloved had hit in my heart, or that were concealed or were hidden by him, and outwardly he was keeping himself smiling all the time. A beautiful expression. मेरी जिंदा दिली को देख कर हैरत हुई है दुनिया, मेरा दिल चीर कर देखे तो निकले तीर के टुकड़े. These two lines sung, and Baba stopped the song. Baba stopped us, and thereafter he was lost in some deep thought. I really still feel that atmosphere. Then everything just stand still, and Baba was simply sitting as if he is lost somewhere. None of us were even, just we were staring at Baba, keeping very silent and staring at him. Such an atmosphere was there. And after little time, Baba just did like this. He put his palms on his face, and then he gestured that what we feel, that remember, we were not supposed to tell about anybody's death, anything about the old life. We are not, because Baba was still in new life. See, we were prohibited from telling or from mentioning anything from the old life. And how to report this matter that Khak Sahib has passed away. That could have not been possible had we not have that poetry with us. But the first two lines, Baba could get everything, and then he gestured that he has come to me. And thereafter, the next stanzas, the further stanzas were sung by us. तुझको जाके देख लिया, दूर पर तुझको जाके देख लिया, दूर पर तुझको जाके देख लिया, दूर पर तुझको जाके देख लिया, होश अपना गवा के देख लिया, होश अपना गवा के देख लिया, होश अपना गवा के देख लिया. The meaning is, I have witnessed your glory on the mountain of Tur. On the mountain of Tur. Tur is the mountain on which Moses used to commune with God. I have met you only after losing my senses and my consciousness. Many times I feel that to translate certain feel into English, or from English to Marathi, or for Hindi, we don't find apt words, maybe because of our lack of knowledge of the language. But then consciousness is all right, but then what he says here, I have lost myself. I have lost consciousness, means I was stunned to look at your glory. That is the exact feel of that the first version that which Khak want to express. I was stunned looking at your glory. तुझ पर तुझको जाके देख लिया, तुझ पर तुझको जाके देख लिया, होश अपना गवा के देख लिया, होश अपना गवा के देख लिया। देखना था तुझे बहर सूरत, देखना था तुझे बहर सूरत, देखना था तुझे बहर सूरत, अपने हंसते मिटा के देख लिया, अपनी हंसते मिटा के देख लिया, अपनी हंसते मिटा के देख लिया। देखना था तुझे बहर सूरत, अपनी हस्ती मिटा के देख लिया। I wanted to see you somehow. I surrendered my separative existence. I effaced myself and saw you. I dissolved my individual identity. That is the sum and substance of that meaning. तूने अपना जमाल खुद आरा, तूने अपना जमाल खुद आरा, तूने अपना जमाल खुद आरा, शक्ल इंसान में आके देख लिया, शक्ल इंसान में आके देख लिया, शक्ल इंसान में आके देख लिया। तूने अपना जमाले खुद आरा, शक्ल इंसान में आके देख लिया। A beautiful expression. You have to see your own glory. You have taken a human form. You have taken a human form, came down on this earth and saw your glory. That is the beautiful meaning of it. I wanted to show you, sorry, you have to take human form and descend on earth to see your own beauty and glory. See the feel that Khak has put in this song. मेरी वह शक्ति को तूने परदानशी, मेरी वह शक्ति को तूने परदानशी, मेरी वह शक्ति को तूने परदानशी, अपनी सूरत छुपा के देख लिया, अपनी सूरत छुपा के देख लिया, अपनी सूरत छुपा के देख लिया। मेरी वहशत को तूने पर्दा नशी, अपनी सूरत छुपा के देख लिया। You remain veiled and hidden, while being behind the curtain, and by remaining unmanifest, you could see my madness and insane behavior. Remaining behind the curtain and remaining unmanifest, you could see my madness and insane behavior. Next stanza is शाह से है तेरा गदा मुमता, शाह से है तेरा गदा मुमता, शाह से है तेरा गदा मुमता, शान अपनी घटा के देख लिया, शान अपनी घटा के देख लिया, शान अपनी घटा के देख लिया. A beautiful expression he has given here. शाह से है तेरा गदा मुमताज, शान अपनी घटा के देख लिया. A beggar at your door is more respected than the king. A beggar at your door is more respectful than the king. I had to contain my pride, my ego, in order to see you, in order to meet you. Next stanza is equally beautiful. शबे मेरा को अहमद ने, शबे मेरा को अहमद ने, शबे मेरा को अहमद ने, बुरखाए में उठा के देख लिया, बुरखाए में उठा ये देख लिया, बुरखाए में उठा ये देख लिया. It's a poetic beauty in this stanza. शबे महराज अहद को अहमद ने. शबे महराज this the night of meeting, the night of passage to the heavens, the night of the passage to the heaven, I saw the beautiful face of my beloved by lifting veils of duality. On the night of passage to the heavens, I saw the beautiful face of my beloved by lifting veil of my duality. I would explain to you a little bit about the poetic beauty here. What he says, Shabe Mayraz Ahad ko Ahmad ni. Ahad means infinite, and Ahmad means the name of an individual person. Just examine these two words, Ahad and Ahmad. In the second word, Ahmad, there is one additional word is Ma. Ahmad, Ahad and Ahmad. If you remove that Ma, means yourself. Ma means yourself. Me, Ma. If you remove that M, what remains is Ahad. So to become Ahad or to become the infinite, you have to efface your individual identity. That is what he has said. Shabe Mayraz Ahad ko Ahmad ni. Ahad ko Ahmad ni. बुरकाए मीम उठा के देख लिया. On the night of the passage to the heavens, I saw the beautiful face of my beloved by lifting the veils of duality. Next stanza is आगे अपनी जुबान नहीं खुलती, हर्फ मतलब पे आके देख लिया. आगे अपनी जुबान नहीं खुलती, 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 हरफे मतलब पे आ तेरे कलियां, हरफे मतलब पे आ तेरे कलियां, हरफे मतलब पे आ तेरे कलियां. What he says here, आगे अपनी जुबान नहीं खुलती, हरफे मतलब पे आके देख लिया. The meaning is, what more do I say now? I am speechless and tongue-tied. I have already arrived at the word that contains all the meaning. The real word. I have already reached that state. And I am just speechless now. I cannot say anything now. And the last stanza is, शेवे आशिकी नहीं है के, शेवे आशिकी नहीं, शेवे आशिकी नहीं है के, खाक ने दिल लगा के देख लिया, खाक ने दिल लगा के देख लिया, हो खाक ने दिल लगा के देख लिया. This is the last stanza. What it says, to be able to love is not a joke or not a child's play. To be able to love is not game of what should I say? Game of a child. It's not, love is not in the category of child's game. Khank, the poet, has realized this after falling in love. What I wanted to make it clear, that see the agony which that person has filled up in this song, and that message was immediately received by Baba when we sang two lines, and the whole song Baba listened very carefully, very calmly and quietly, but then he never made any remarks on that. And immediately thereafter, we sang another song. When Khak's song was written in Urdu, no one from our group, they could read Urdu. So Mr. Thade took that paper to Dr. Ghani, and reading that paper, Dr. Ghani said, "This is a wonderful poetry, a wonderful poem. It seems that Khak has seen Baba in his real form." That was the remark which Dr. Ghani had made. But then Dr. Ghani had also composed one song, and I will sing that also, but not much about the meaning of that. अभी अभी दिन था, अभी अभी रात है, अभी अभी दिन था, अभी अभी रात है, किस्मत के चक्कर में कुदरत का हाथ है, किस्मत के चक्कर में कुदरत का हाथ है. अभी अभी दिन था, अभी अभी रात है, किस्मत के चक्कर में कुदरत का हाथ है, किस्मत के चक्कर में कुदरत का हाथ है. You will not believe, but the first line when Madhusudan started, Baba gestured. Baba's face immediately changed. All that pensive feel on Baba's face, it disappeared, and Baba looked so very cheerful. His face was glittering with happiness, and he gestures that big head. I mean, indicating to Dr. Ghani that big head. What Dr. Ghani says in this song is, there was a day and now there is a night. Light and darkness are once light, are the two aspects of life. After light comes darkness, and after darkness comes there is a light. This goes and on in one's life. On this circle of fate, there is a hand of divine, or that there is a hand of destiny. The next stanza is, नई जिंदगानी की हम दिल में जो ठानी, दुनिया की हमसे बड़ी बदगुमानी, कोई समझे हीला कोई समझे मात है, हजारों जुबां पर अलग अलग बात है. The meaning is, we had determined to lead a life called new life. People in the world had many misunderstandings about us. Some thought that it is a farce. Some thought it is an excuse for running away from the responsibilities of life. Different people spoke in different ways about us when we started new life, when we decided to go on new life. The next stanza is, बचपन का साथी मगर जर से था खाली, जर वालों का बना अल्लाह वाली, अभी अभी जीत थी अभी अभी मात है, सरमाएदारों की देखा नजात है. The meaning is, he was my childhood friend, but he was penniless. He was empty pocket. But he was the richest of the rich, because he became the one who provided wealth to the rich. I won over him sometimes, and sometimes he won over me. I have seen him helping the wealthiest person to come out of their difficulties, or the capitalists. I will give one example. Baba's family had not left any property for him, for his use, for Mir Baba's use, because that the house which was owned by his father, that was there, and Baba's family, rest of the family, were staying there, and Baba had his own life. He left his house, and thereafter he moved to several places. Ultimately, he came to Arangao, or the Mehrabad, now we call Mehrabad, and there he established his ashram. And who were the persons who donated that land? It was Adi K. Irani's father, Kaikotru Irani. Adi K. Irani's mother was very much devoted to Baba. These people are really wonderful people. Now, Adi K. Irani's father had a very respectable person in Nagar. Very respectable. He was very rich person, very helpful person. Basically, these Parsis are very kind-hearted people. So that person was such a person. But then he had two sons. One was Rustam and another was Adi. And Baba, when they came in Baba's contact, Gulmai, that means Adi's mother, was so very impressed by Baba's personality that he was ready to do anything for Baba. Baba used to call her as spiritual mother. Look at, just they have two sons. Baba asked for Adi. Baba said that you give your Adi to me. And she simply agreed to that. even without consulting her husband. What a courage these people had. What a courage these people had. Same thing with Erech. Baba asked Erech, you come and join me. Yes, Baba. Everything is possible if you desire. Not only that, Baba went a step ahead and said that you come and join me along with whole of your family. That too without consulting his family people. Eras said that everything is possible, Baba, if you so desire. And they all joined Baba. Now just see, in that family also, there were only two persons who were earning members. Adi, Erech's father was old man now, but then he had some property which was to be in Nagpur. It was to be disposed of, and thereafter they came and settled in Pune. They first came to Mirabad, and then Baba asked for Erech, and Erech's mother was so very devoted to Baba. Without any hesitation, she said, "Yes, yes, Baba, you can take." And Baba took Erech. And he made arrangement for the family to sustain, to survive. He made arrangement for that because Merji had a paper factory in Pune, and Merwan was appointed as the manager of the factory. So that family was kept going on. See the arrangement where Baba used to make. He never used to handle money himself. He never had any properties in his name. He had never had any money. But then the whole matter, money matter, he used to deal in such a way that there was no scope for anybody to complain about it. Once it so happened that Patil, we used to call him Patil Kaka, there was some sort of a, before that I would just tell you one thing, that some of the financiers for Baba's activity, they were there. Nariman Dada Chanji was there. Thereafter, Meherji Karkaria was there. Thereafter, some other people, Patil also was there. So they used to provide some financial whenever Baba wants it. But then, of his own, Baba had not kept any money for himself. It was only for taking with one hand and giving to other, giving with the other. That always had been Baba's way of dealing with the money matters. Once it so happened that Meherji was had some business in Iran, and on advice from some people predicting the future of that person, for fortune teller, I would say, he had advised Meherji to sell up that property because he is likely to suffer losses if he sells it afterwards. And Meherji asked Baba to permission to leave for Iran, just to dispose that property. And Baba asked him, who has asked you to dispose that property? Meherji said that a person who tells the foretell the fortune, he has told me that if I don't sell it now, I will have to suffer heavy losses. And what Baba said, then that fortune teller, all his philosophy of fortune telling, I have mixed up with a cup of my tea. I had dissolved it and swallowed it. Which means that and Baba didn't allow him to sell out that property. which means that the whole control was in Baba's hand. And that is what Dr. Ghani says here. बचपन का साथी मगर दर से था खाली. He was penniless. He was empty pocket. But he was the one who provided wealth to the wealthiest people, to the capitalist. He used to provide money to them, and he would come to rescue them. So that is a very apt description which Dr. Gania said. बचपन का साथी मगर दर से था खाली, जरवाल का बना अल्लाह वाली, अभी अभी जीत थी अभी अभी मात है, सरमाएदारों की देखा न जाती. He was my childhood friend, but was penniless. But he was the richest of the rich because he became the one who provided wealth to the rich. Now about himself, he said, I won over him sometime, and sometimes he won over me. And I have seen him helping the wealthiest person to come out of their difficulty. Next stanza is हंसना भी आए उन्हें रोना भी आए, बिरहा के जख्मों का थाहा न पाए. आवाज कैसा है जी? हंसना भी आए उन्हें रोना भी आए, बिरहा की जख्मों का थाहा न पाए, अभी अभी प्यार था अभी अभी लात है, बरसों की चाह गोवा 2 दिन की बात है. The meaning is he knows how to laugh and he knows how to weep, how to shed tears. He plays both these games so perfectly well. That is laughing and weeping, shedding tears. He could not, however, fathom the depth of my wounds which were caused to my heart due to separation from him. That pains which were caused to my heart due to separation from him, because Dr. Ghani had come back from his from the new life, and thereafter the song was, and he was not invited for that meeting. So this stanza speaks about the agony in his heart. I had his love and also his kicks to get salvation from the pain and pleasure of the life was my lifelong desire. And for him, it was a matter of a couple of days to fulfill my desire. Once Dr. Ghani had said that I have, jokingly said, I have come to Meher Baba not only for Khuda, but also for Kurda. I have come to Meher Baba for not only for Khuda, but also for Kurda. Kurda means coins of different denominations. A bunch of coins of different denominations. It is all Kurda. So Dr. Ghani jokingly says that I have not only come for God, I have come for Kurda also. And the last time they said, अभी था कुछ आसमा अभी बन गया जमी, समझे बेड़ा पार था है मगर अब तक वही, मुर्दा दिल की बात सुन तू साहेब हयात है, मुंसिफ की माया में दोबारा बारात है. In the moments of time, I was high up in the sky, and the next moment I was on the floor. I had thought that my meeting him would have gone a long way, but alas, I am in the same position as I was before. Oh, my sad mind, listen to me. He is the embodiment of life. I am a dead mind. Ghani is a dead mind, whereas Baba is a living life. And last line he says that Dr. Ghani was taken into procession twice. That was the Dr. Muni taken in death possession twice. Twice he was taken out from his life. Baba had determined to. Baba has never allowed him to settle in his life, and all that agony which he had in mind, he has spoken. See, the early people who have followed Meher Baba, Baba was not known to the world as some great personality. In the course of time, after so many years, people started recognizing as he says about himself. Baba claimed that he was avatar, so people started accepting that claim after so many years. But in the beginning, all these people who were attached to Meher Baba, what they had seen in Baba, what they had found in Meher Baba, there was no hope for gaining some wealth. And Baba never allowed them to expect for spiritual gain also. Even then, they kept on clinging on to Baba. See the courage, the determination, the dedication, the surrender that people have expressed while staying with Baba. They are really very, very chosen people. Khak Sahib, in his last song, such a beautiful song, beautiful expression he has given, as if he has achieved everything in his life. In spite of his miserable life, the miseries of his life, he kept all that agony hidden from the world. He always remained happy in Baba's contact. So wonderful people, all these people were just wonderful. My salutations to all of them. Jai Baba, I think I have crossed my time limitation.
No, nothing
Sorry for
crossed.
that.
No. Nothing to be sorry. In fact, we are thankful. So you can go on, and we can listen and listen. So
And anybody has to say anything about it?
you, Pratap Uncle. So anybody have any question can unmute themselves and ask. Anybody, any point, any comment, anything?
No question, because Mr. Pratap Ahir is all hearts. Questions
please.
come from mind. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Ahir. This is Mahu from Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we had good
Hello.
time together in Sahavas. And when you sang,
Very happy
when
to
you
see you,
sang
really.
your bhajan, reminded me of those days.
Yes.
Jai Baba.
Very,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Oh, Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Rosalie, I hope you will not stop talking about Ghani and Baba's relationship. It is so very special, so full of humor, because I feel this Advent, Baba has brought tremendous humor because it's such a great Advent. We don't even know how great it is, but through humor, I just, it made me feel a little sad when you said this is next time's the last time. I say no. I said, please. It brings out so much in a very special relationship. very special. Yeah.
Thank
And
thank you so
I love the singing. It reminded me because I never was allowed. I was Adi Rani already had heart trouble, so he
Yes,
never
yes. Mhm.
sang when he came to the U.S. that I know. Never. And I really missed that because he so loved singing and the guzzles and but you reminded me of that today. Singing, you know, you just really enjoy what is being said. You know,
Yes.
Adi,
Yes.
you know, he conveyed that, you know, that joy and that conviction so strong. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very grateful, Baba, for your sharing. Yeah.
Thank-
जय बाबा प्रताप जी,
Ah,
थैंक यू
Jai
वेरी
Baba,
मच।
Jai.
आपके गाने
Jai,
तो
Jai
बहुत
Baba.
बहुत खूब।
After a
जय
long
बाबा।
time.
No,
Jai Baba.
I was in Hyderabad, and
You
the
have been
timing was a
Hyderabad.
little off. Yeah, but I was
But you
listening to.
you have gone
I
back
will
then?
listen to
You
all
have
your.
gone back to, you are
Yeah,
still
I
in
am now in the.
Hyderabad?
नहीं, अभी मैं न्यू जर्सी में हूँ, and I had a chance to listen to you for the first time after coming here, and I will definitely listen to all your old talks. I'll catch up. But today has been just wonderful. I mean, such intimate details of Khak Sahib and Dr. Ghani
Yes.
with Baba.
Yes.
So beautiful. Coming from you, it's even more, just divine. Thank you so much, Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Thank you. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Mer Baba
Pratap ji.
Kaka.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jai Baba.
Jai Mer Baba Kaka.
Jai Mir Baba. Jai Mir Baba. Jai.
So nice. We are so happy to listen to you because many things are not written in many books.
Mhm.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the reason
That
I'm
is-
very grateful to you, Kaka.
Thank
And
you.
also
Thank you.
grateful to because most of the people doesn't know about Kak Sahib or Kak Sahib Ghazals. I'll be happy
Yes.
if you can do come Kak Sahib Ghazals in future too.
That is in my mind. That is in my mind. In the course
Jai
of
Mer
time,
Baba.
I'll be after that. Jai
Avtar
Baba.
Meher
Jai
Baba ki Jai.
Jai. Jai. Jai.
Jai Baba Pratap ji. This is
Yes.
Vijay. हाँ जय बाबा
हाँ,
दिस
विजय
इज
बोलो।
विजय हाँ हाँ नहीं मुझको ये बोलना था कि या थैंक यू सो मच फॉर डॉक्टर गणेश इट्स रियली ग्रेट rendition and
Yes.
I would like to know about other Sufi poets also like Azmi साहब जो पाकिस्तान के थे and you know Azmi
Ask me long after that. He came in 1955 or so. He was from Pakistan. He was in Pakistan. So in first time he came to India in 1955, Sahwas. He was there. Till that time, nobody knew about him. Till that time, nobody knew about him. It was only after that time, and especially the ghazal he has composed. It's a beautiful ghazal, beautiful, and that too in a country like Pakistan.
right
That
he
is
was
one
jailed
another
also yeah he was jailed also for
yes, yes,
yeah
yes, yes. So see the courage, and I just wonder about these people, how. But then those people who are really attached to Meher Baba, those days,
yeah
they are really special people. I say. They are really, everyone. Now I just mentioned about Adi and I just mentioned about Eraj. What type of people were there? How their parents were there? Just Baba asking for a person and he just give. Can you had we been in their place, what would have one reaction on us? We can just imagine that.
my
What
reaction is
influence-
that yeah my
What
reaction is
influence
that
Baba had?
yeah
What
please
influence Baba used to have on these people? And no chamatkar, without
Yeah.
any miracle.
Right.
See the power of his
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
The power is personality. The people from Kasbah Pit, the
Yeah.
fisherman community, they were mad after him,
Right. Right.
ready to do anything for him.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When he was
Yeah.
not known to the people,
Yeah.
he was just very freshly come out from that Baba Jan's contact, and
Right. Right.
when nobody was knowing about him, at that time these people have. You see, I remember one incident. This there was one person by name Munshi Abdul Rahman.
Mhm.
He was a officer in military department, some storekeeper or something. This young Mervan, when he went for some work, his father had given some responsibility, and when Mervan went here, that person, after seeing Mervan coming, he never knew who is Mervan. But simply by seeing at his personality, he stood up. A officer stands up to attend a
Yeah.
customer like a young boy.
Yeah.
See the influence of his personality. Baba's
Sure.
personality was such.
Amazing.
One cannot imagine it is
Yeah.
our head
Yeah.
will, if you try to conceive it, our head will get blasted.
Yeah. No, means that they
But
are
the
in the
burden,
class of the Rumi and Hafiz, and means that the tradition of Sufism. They are maintaining that kind of tradition. These great their poetry. Really.
mm,
Yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
One more thing. This Mehdi Hassan is the great ghazal singer from Pakistan. He was.
Yes,
And he had any link with Baba or any message was sent?
I don't think. But that great poet, what's his name?
Azmi.
He
Azmi. Yeah.
uh, he had Baba had lastly he had sent one person from UP to give him a copy of God Speaks. Thereafter he passed away. I think Jigar.
Jigar. Okay. Jigar
Jigar
Muradabadi.
Muradabadi. Jigar
Oh,
Muradabadi.
okay.
Some people were there like that.
Right.
They are special people.
Yeah.
They recognize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last time I said no about that difference in between Sufism and Islam.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
In in uh, in
Yeah.
in uh, in that theosophical society, once our young boy had asked one question about nirvana, and the
Right.
person who was giving talk, he got puzzled about that, and Dr. Giri took over the mic and he explained the whole thing, and then said to those people, they were making fun of these young boys, what they understand by nirvana, why they talk about so big things. That was the
Deep.
expression. And
Uh,
what Dr. Gandhi said, where your knowledge ends, these boys start from there.
Uh,
ah.
uh,
But
See,
had they read Huma's Ghazal when Baba wrote in the early 20s? Those ghazals are there is no match. They are the real spiritual wisdom force.
yes, 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 yes,
So
very deep,
had these
very deep.
people, yeah, because Desai was so impressed that editor Desai and yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
really, those Huma ghazals are amazing, amazing.
Amazing, amazing, yes, yes.
Of course, it
They
carries the
make you
mixture.
weep. They
Huh?
will make you weep.
Yeah,
Such,
yeah,
such
yeah.
some
Oh
such ghazals are
God,
there, make you weep.
my God. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely it makes me weep,
Yes,
cry. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Right, right. Amazing.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think there is so much to hear from you, and we have to take it out from you. So please keep coming.
Vijay,
Thank you. Jai Baba.
Vijay,
Yeah.
every time I feel that I will conclude this matter, but somehow I am not able to do that.
Yeah.
I just
No, no.
keep on going on, going
Sure.
on, going on.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jai
Yes,
Baba.
thank you. We all thank Baba for giving us this opportunity to have interaction with all the people.
Yes. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anything? I think then.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So Diana says, yeah, Diana, you are there. I can read it out, or you can directly tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wrote something, Pratapji, that I wanted to thank you because you tell all of these stories so beautifully. They're wonderful stories, and you're very, very generous with all of your memories. And I think, the way you tell all of your stories, I can see how each experience just pressed so beautifully, into your mind and into your heart. And all you have to do is read your heart, and then you tell the stories. That's how it feels to me. You remember everything with such great detail.
Yes.
Thank you.
One thing I would just conclude with, whenever we used to go to Baba, we used to forget everything. Our mind and our ears and mind, they were focused on Baba. So whatever was happening there, we have taken in our heart. We never thought of any of our matters, any outside matters. Be present in Baba's presence, and then digest as much as you can. So that is the reason why I remember so many things, and I was able to put before you the picture of that time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pratap Uncle. Thank you for this lovely
Baba.
evening. Okay, we can't.
Thank you. Jai Baba.
Yeah, we wanted it to
Thank you,
continue.
Ganesh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Baba. And so we will conclude with 3 times Avatar Mer Baba Ki Jai. So all can unmute themselves and join. Avatar Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Avatar
Avatar Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Avatar Meher Baba
Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pratap Uncle. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Baba.
Thanks, Ganesh.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Thanks
Jai
for
Meher Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Ganesh. That's beautiful.
Little I do, so very little. That's nothing to thank me. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah, thanks. You're blessed to be near all these wonderful Baba lovers.
Yes, indeed.
Great ones, yeah. Did you go to Mehrabad anytime recently?
I went last Dhuni.
Oh,
That's when I went. So I don't. So that time it was a little better, so I could go. But I don't think this Dhuni. It's all closed now.
Yeah.
Well, this is the high point of the week, I feel. These stories with Pratapji and Gadekar. It's just wonderful.